Instant gratification, cutting the cord! You know what? You know what really it is? It's the segment so nice we named it twice.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
That's what it is. Now wait, here's what we've been doing.
Yes.
We've been talking about these movies, right?
We do talk about movies on this show occasionally.
You can stream movies for free.
Yes, you can.
And it's not like the crap movies that they used to have that I used to complain about.
Right.
There's good movies now.
Oh yeah.
You know, in fact, I have to say, and this, I'm not saying this for the show. I've been thinking of getting rid of the Netflix mail. I may just do streaming.
Okay.
And I'm not saying that to say it. I was thinking to myself, you know, I don't know. Most of what I want at this point is streamable.
Okay.
You know.
I'm not going to argue with you.
Yes, you are.
Well, maybe.
Okay.
But let's see what you got.
So here's what's going to happen. Wade and I each have two films that we would like to recommend. That is streamable.
One more time?
Streamable.
Oh, all right. We'll take
And
it.
we will talk about the film, talk about why we like it, tell you where you can see it. And I believe I will start, Wade.
Please.
What do you think of that?
Please.
On Netflix, which is $7.99 per month, is Bad Boys. Now hang on, folks. Know what you're saying? You're saying Bad Boys, that Michael Bay piece of S?
Oh, hell no.
Oh, hell no. Where's Chad? Get him back. Bad Boys is from 1983. It stars Sean Penn, and it was directed by Rick Rosenthal. This is a terrific movie. It's a very tough and gritty film about Chicago street gangs. Sean Penn plays a young punk who is thrown in jail, and when he goes to jail, he finds out what it's really like to be in jail, and this film tells you what it's really like to be in jail. It is tough, and it is excruciating, and it is painful, and you will get hurt. And don't forget, folks, this is 1983. You didn't, you know, before 1983, it was like The Warriors, which is like cartoonish, or like West Side Story, which is like a big musical. Right. But Bad Boys, it really told you what it was like, and it was very arresting at the time. And in the film, Esai Morales plays Penn's street rival, who was sent to the same prison as Penn after he rapes Penn's sister, or Penn's girlfriend. So it was a big, big deal at the time. It got a lot of critical acclaim. It's a terrific movie. It doesn't sentimentalize the experience of being in prison. You know, Shawshank Redemption, which I think is a classic.
Yeah.
That's another take on prison life. This is like totally different. This is a 180. This is an intense film. At the time, Sean Penn had done some stuff, but he didn't really take that dramatic turn until he starred in Bad Boys. And it's a very good film. It was directed by this guy, Rick Rosenthal, whose career went kind of nowhere. He wound up doing a lot of TV. He's still around.
Yeah.
But really his best film is Bad Boys. I think this film is just terrific.
I'm not as enthused about it as you are. I don't think it dates that very well, but Sean Penn's performance is terrific. Hey,
I like it.
Hey, it's
I
fine.
like it.
You're welcome to like it. I don't think it dates very well. It looks a little ragged around the edges, but Sean Penn is great in it. It really was a turning point for his career. He went from Spicoli to this guy, and suddenly he was a real actor. And that was, you know, it would have been very easy for him to just coast on Spicoli and to become the Pauly Shore of the 1980s. He could very easily have done that, and his career would have gone the direction of Pauly Shore's career. He would have just evaporated when that kind of ran dry.
There can only be one Pauly Shore.
Exactly. But instead, you know, he said, I'm going to show a different side, and he did this, and people suddenly took him very, very seriously, and he was able to really mix it up thereafter, and it still is. So that was a really crucial moment in his career. I agree, Rick Rosenthal, good director. Don't know why he's not doing features now. He should be.
True, true.
Should
So
be.
that is Bad Boys from '83 is on Netflix Instant. Now, Wade, what is your first pick?
I am going to go with a choice from Amazon. This is Amazon Prime membership, or $2.99 as a rental with Amazon free account. We're talking about Amadeus, the director's cut. Now, Amadeus, of course, won Best Picture in 1984, and you know, it's a great film. I have problems personally with Tom Hulce's performance. Don't like it, but the movie itself is terrific. Despite that, great direction from Milos Forman. This was the second of 3 Best Pictures that producer Saul Zaentz would win, which, by the way, is a record, tied with Sam Spiegel. And the director's cut is even better. It's different in some very significant ways which I think actually make Hulce's performance better, makes the character richer, makes the movie more interesting. It has been available on DVD and Blu-ray for a little while, but no reason necessarily to not watch it if you just feel like you want to hear some great music and watch one of the great films of the 80s. Best Picture winner, very deservedly so, even though I personally preferred Passage to India that same year. David Lean fetish of mine. But never mind, Amadeus, still a great film. Definitely watch that on Amazon.
You know what? It is a great film. It totally holds up. And, you know, when you say you don't like Hulse's performance, you know, we have this conversation a lot where if you don't like a performance, is it the actor or is it the director?
True.
Because the director's job is to steer the performance in the way that he requires.
I mean, in this case, it's not even. I should be a little more fair. It's, you know, it's the original stage production is what created the character, that sort of forged the character in that wacky way, and that may be a little bit the problem that I had with it. But that being said, costumes, photography, art direction, F. Murray Abraham as Salieri, who, you know, would win his Best Actor Oscar for it. I mean, as a production, we just don't get movies like this anymore. It is opulent, it is extravagant, it is intense with detail. It is a beautifully executed and mounted film. It recreates the period magnificently, and there's not a drop of CGI anywhere in it. So, bravo! This is what movies are supposed to be.
Wait. There's no CGI?
No.
I can't see that.
I know, right?
There's no CGI.
Does anything transform?
There is a scene where F. Murray Abraham
turns into a
gets
Chevy?
Yeah, he does, and he mows Mozart down.
It's my favorite moment in the film.
Yeah.
So that's on Amazon, right?
Yes.
Now on Hulu Plus, my second pick of the week, on Hulu Plus, which is $7.99 per month, is In the Heat of the Night from 1967. Rod Steiger won an Oscar for his portrayal of a bigoted small-town sheriff who was forced to conduct a murder investigation with a big city African-American detective played by Sidney Poitier. And their reluctant team-up sort of is the core of the film. And, you know, in the movie, Steiger resents the idea that this big city African-American cop would tell him, and this is Mississippi now, right? So this is years ago in Mississippi. He resents the fact that this African-American detective from the big city would tell him how to do his job. And what's great about the film is that it is definitely a message movie, but there is such fireworks between the two of them. And what's remarkable about it is that Poitier does not play the insulting, magical Negro cliched character who we've now sort of gotten used to with Legend of Bagger Vance and all these other movies that are kind of insulting to African Americans. Here, it's like Steiger is a bigot, but slowly he starts to maybe grudgingly respect Poitier, whereas Poitier in the film, he's not always a very nice man. He's very indignant, and not that he doesn't have a right to be, but I remember there's a scene in the film when Poitier actually slaps a white woman, and Steiger says, "Look at you, you're just like us." So there's a lot of back and forth that is very intense, and nobody's let off the hook, and it's just a terrific movie. And, you know, you almost have to go back to kind of get into the history of the film, because the movie takes place in Mississippi, but in the Deep South, they did not want that movie shooting there because it involved a strong African-American character. So director Norman Jewison had to find another place to shoot the film, and so they shot it in another state. And what's super remarkable about the film is that that movie, which won Best Picture, the Best Picture of 1967, was a turning point in Hollywood history, and here's why. In 1967, here are the 5 films that were nominated for Best Picture: Dr. Dolittle, Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, The Graduate, In the Heat of the Night, Bonnie and Clyde. Now, why is that remarkable? Because as the studio system was ending and the independent films, those great 70s films that we love, were starting to kind of emerge, you've got Dr. Dolittle, bloated studio film, one of the last of the bloated studio films.
Talk to the Animals.
Talk to the Animals. You've got Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, the Stanley Kramer film, which is one of those, you know, completely self-congratulatory liberal message movies, right? You've got The Graduate and Bonnie and Clyde, which was on the total new forefront. That was the new frontier of Hollywood. Yeah. And so right in the middle, where you've got something that does have some artistry to it, and yet is still like an old school Hollywood film, is In the Heat of the Night. And in the way, that's the film that sort of split the difference, and that's what won. But after that, then the Bonnie and Clydes and the Graduates of Hollywood started to take over. The Easy Riders, the Midnight Cowboys. That 1967 was the watershed year of that.
Let me just point out, this was a year where we had The Graduate, Bonnie and Clyde, and In the Heat of the Night, all nominated for Best Picture. All of those in one year. When was the last time we had 3 major landmark classic films of that caliber in one year? 1980.
76.
1980.
1980 was
Ordinary People, Raging Bull, and the Elephant Man.
Elephant Man.
And, you know...
well, 76 was Bound for Glory,
yeah.
Rocky.
But it's been decades.
It has.
Not in the last 20, 25 years, we haven't had that kind of a lineup.
Because now it's all about making sure that Inception is nominated so that kids will watch the Oscars. That's what it's about now.
No, it's a great movie. In the Heat of the Night is an absolutely terrific film, beautifully made. Norman Jewison did not win Best Director, by the way. He won. They won Best Picture. I forget who won Best Director that year, but it was not Norman Jewison. So he got an Oscar as a producer, but not as a director. But tremendous movie and not a bad TV series eventually when they
with Carol O'Connor.
Carol O'Connor, yeah.
As the detective.
In the Steiger part.
And
Howard Rollins.
Yes, the poor Rollins who had such a troubled life.
Yeah.
You know, he's a terrific actor from Ragtime. By the way, Ragtime, buy it. Oh, it's an early buy, rent, or burn, Ragtime. All right, wait, so that's In the Heat of the Night from 1967 is available on Hulu Plus. First month free,
right.
$7.99 per month after that.
And I got another choice from Hulu Plus, $7.99. This is from 1957, the Ingmar Bergman film Wild Strawberries, starring Victor Sjöström. This is a foreign film, so those of you that don't like subtitles, too damn bad. Do it anyway, it's good for your soul. Wild Strawberries is, in many respects, Ingmar Bergman's most accessible film. It is a little more sentimental than what you normally get from him. It is not a brooding movie about death and anxiety and existential crises and darkness and loneliness and people killing each other on a desolate island. This is a movie about an old man who is on a bit of a road trip, and along the course of this trip, there are these kinds of dreamlike encounters with his past. His memories sort of return to haunt him, and you trace his life in flashback. And it is a beautiful, poignant, very touching film. Rather a remarkable script in many respects, and beautifully photographed. Also happens to be one of Stanley Kubrick's favorite films of all time. Kubrick loved Wild Strawberries and was profoundly influenced by it throughout his career, as have a lot of other filmmakers. This, I think, is sort of the perfect moment for Bergman, because Bergman, at a certain point, went a little bit self-indulgent, making some things like Cries and Whispers and Autumn Sonata, things which get much more melodramatic, much more claustrophobic. Once he gets into the 70s, not quite the strong filmmaker that he was prior to that. And so this sits right in that perfect sweet spot of Bergman's career, where it is artsy, it is European, but at the same time it's very emotionally accessible, very, very touching. And you can't go wrong. Even if you think you don't like foreign films, watch Wild Strawberries. You will not regret it.
You know, everybody talks about Bergman, and they make fun of Bergman and how inaccessible he was and how he was so brooding. If you really want to start with a film,
this is a good one.
This is a good one to start with.
Yeah.
You know, Wild Strawberries. It's just a terrific film. And it's available on Hulu Plus.
Yep.
First month free.
Yep.
$7.99 after that. Wade, you can afford $7.99.
Probably
not. Probably not, actually.
I don't know.
I take that back.
I don't know.
So there you go. That's instant gratification. Cutting the cord. Yes.